Good evening, everyone. I am dealing with Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. Lesch-Nyhan syndrome is a clinical condition which is associated with purine metabolism and more specifically the salvage pathway in purine metabolism. So, before going much into the Lesch-Nyhan syndrome, let's have a sneak peek into what is salvage pathway. We all know that there are two major mechanisms for the synthesis of purine nucleotides. One is the de novo synthesis of purine nucleotides, and the other one is salvage pathway. In the de novo synthesis of purine nucleotides, there is the synthesis of purine nucleotides from different small components. But in the salvage pathway, the purine nucleotides are produced from free purines or ribonucleosides or even deoxyribonucleosides. That means new nucleotides are produced from the degradation of old nucleotides. So in this pathway, there will be recycling of purines happening into new nucleotides. So the starting material for this salvage pathway is phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate or PRPP. So PRPP is the starting material for the salvage pathway, and there are two major enzymes which is required for this pathway, which is adenine phosphoribosyl transferase, which is APRTase, and the other one is hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase, which is HGPRTase. Now, this HGPRTase enzyme is the villain of Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. So, we are more concerned with this specific enzyme. Now, what about these enzyme action? Our APRTase enzyme catalyzes the conversion of adenine plus PRPP into AMP and inorganic phosphate. We are not much concerned about this enzyme or this reaction. Rather, we are more concerned with these two reaction, which is guanine plus PRPP is converted to GMP plus inorganic phosphate by the enzyme HGPRTase. Guanineum PRPPയും ചേർന്നിട്ട് GMP ഉണ്ടാവും with the help of the enzyme HGPRTase, which is hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ hypoxanthine plus PRPP give rise to IMP, inosine monophosphate and inorganic phosphate with the help of this same enzyme. So we get guanosine monophosphate and inosine monophosphate from these two reactions. Guanine is converted to GMP in presence of PRPP with the help of enzyme HGPRTase. Hypoxanthine is converted to inosine monophosphate in presence of PRPP with the help of enzyme HGPRTase. Now, what does this HGPRTase do in Lesch-Nyhan syndrome? എന്താണ് HGPRTaseും Lesch-Nyhan syndrome തമ്മിലുള്ള connection? This HGPRTase enzyme is deficient in Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. So, coming back to our Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. As I have already said, Lesch-Nyhan syndrome villain ആണ് HGPRTase. So, in Lesch-Nyhan syndrome, the enzyme deficient is HGPRTase. That is hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase. The syndrome is mainly due to the deficiency of this particular enzyme. So, what are the characteristics of this syndrome? It is actually an X-linked disorder, and the incidence of this syndrome is 1 in 10,000 male. Now, what will happen in this reaction? നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞു, it is mainly connected with salvage pathway, and we have already discussed HGPRTase enzyme ആണ് salvage pathwayയിലെ one of the main enzyme. So, ഈ HGPRTase enzyme deficient ആകുമ്പോൾ what happens? The rate of the salvage pathway decreases. Salvage pathwayയുടെ rate കുറയും due to the deficiency of HGPRTase. Now, PRPP accumulates. നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞു, guanine ആണെങ്കിലും hypoxanthine ആണെങ്കിലും it reacts with PRPP to form GMP and IMP respectively. So ഈ എൻസൈം ഡെഫിഷ്യൻ്റ് ആകുമ്പോൾ ഗ്വനൈൻ ആണെങ്കിലും ഹൈപ്പോസാൻതിൻ ആണെങ്കിലും അക്യുമുലേറ്റ് ആവും. അതിനോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ PRPP ലെവൽ ഓൾസോ ഇൻക്രീസസ്. PRPP accumulates in Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. The next is inhibitory purine nucleotides decreases. അതായത് ഈ സാൽവേജ് പാത്വേയിലൂടെ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന പ്രൊഡക്ട്സ് ഗ്വാനോസിൻ മോണോഫോസ്ഫേറ്റും ഐനോസിൻ മോണോഫോസ്ഫേറ്റും ആണ്. These purine nucleotides levels are decreased in Lesch-Nyhan syndrome due to the deficiency of the enzyme HGPRTase. So purine nucleotides in the level കുറയും. Now another characteristic is that purine synthesis is increased. That is, we told guanine and PRPP forms GMP, hypoxanthine and PRPP forms IMP. So salvage de novo synthesis of purine നമ്മൾ എടുത്ത് നോക്കിയാൽ the inhibitors of the purine synthesis is actually the products of purine synthesis itself. അതായത് products of purine synthesis എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് GMPയും IMPയും ഒക്കെയാണ്. These products itself act as allosteric inhibitors of purine synthesis. ഈ പ്രോഡക്ട്സ് കൂടുമ്പോൾ purine synthesis കുറയും. They act as allosteric inhibitors. So HGPRTസിൻ്റെ ഡെഫിഷ്യൻസി ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പം ഈ പ്രോഡക്ട്സിൻ്റെ ലെവൽ കുറയും. അപ്പോൾ എന്ത് പറ്റും? പ്യൂരിൻ സിന്തസിസ് ഇസ് ഇൻക്രീസ്ഡ്. allosteric inhibition of purine synthesis by GMP and IMP നടക്കത്തില്ല. So the level of allosteric inhibitors of purine synthesis, ഈ പ്രോഡക്ട്സ് കൂടുമ്പോൾ purine synthesis കുറയും. They act as allosteric inhibitors. So HGPRTസിൻ്റെ ഡെഫിഷ്യൻസി ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പം ഈ പ്രോഡക്ട്സിൻ്റെ ലെവൽ കുറയും. അപ്പോൾ എന്ത് പറ്റും? പ്യൂരിൻ സിന്തസിസ് ഇസ് ഇൻക്രീസ്ഡ്. allosteric inhibition of purine synthesis by GMP and IMP നടക്കത്തില്ല. So the level of purine synthesis increases. So purine synthesis increases. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇവിടെ പറയുന്നത് inhibitory purine nucleotides, അതായത് GMP and IMP act as they are the purine nucleotides, but they also act as inhibitors for purine synthesis. So they are called inhibitory purine nucleotides. So inhibitory purine nucleotides കുറയും, അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ purine synthesis കൂടും. മാത്രമല്ല, what happens is that നമുക്കറിയാം ഗ്വനൈൻ ആണെങ്കിലും ഹൈപ്പോസാൻതിൻ ആണെങ്കിലും they are finally metabolized to form uric acid. ഗ്വനൈൻ ഗ്വാനീസ് എൻസൈം വഴി സാന്തിൻ ആവും, ഹൈപ്പോസാന്തിൻ സാന്തിൻ ഓക്സിഡേസ് വഴി സാന്തിൻ ആകും. ദ സാന്തിൻ യൂറിക് ആസിഡ് വഴി സാന്തിൻ ഓക്സിഡേസ് വഴി യൂറിക് ആസിഡ് ആവും. സോ യൂറിക് ആസിഡ് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ വെൻ ഗ്വനൈൻ ആൻഡ് ഹൈപ്പോസാന്തിൻ ലെവൽ increases, they are metabolized to uric acid. So uric acid increases. So there will be increased production of uric acid. So these are the main characteristics of Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. It is an X-linked disorder. Then the incidence is 1 in 10,000 males. The thing is, the salvage pathway is reduced due to the deficiency of HGPRTase enzyme. HGPRTase enzyme, our reaction PRPP is used. As this reaction does not occur, PRPP accumulates. PRPP level koodum. Then the products of this reaction are purine nucleotides like GMP and IMP. As this reaction is not occurring, their level decreases. Now these products GMP and IMP, they act as inhibitors of purine synthesis. As these products are not formed, purine synthesis is increased. Also this purines, they are metabolized to uric acid. So as these products purines increases, uric acid production also increases. So these are the main characteristics of Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. Now coming to clinical features of Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. The main features are there will be self-mutilation, that is സ്വയം ഉപദ്രവിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങും ആള്. That is self-mutilation. It is mainly due to neurological symptoms associated with Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. പിന്നുള്ളതാണ് mental retardation. The patient will be mentally retarded. Then nephrolithiasis. Nephrolithiasis means kidney stones, renal calculi ആണ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. എന്തുകൊണ്ടെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ നമുക്കറിയാം യൂറിക് ആസിഡ് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ കൂടുതലാണ്. സോ യൂറിക് ആസിഡ് ക്രിസ്റ്റൽസ് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടാവാം. That will lead to kidney stones. So nephrolithiasis is also called kidney stones or renal calculi. Then, as I've already said, uric acid production increases due to guanine ആണെങ്കിലും hypoxanthine ആണെങ്കിലും xanthin ആവും. അതിനുശേഷം it is metabolized to uric acid. So as the uric acid production increases, it can lead to gout in later life. So these are the clinical features. There will be self-mutilation, there will be mental retardation, there will be kidney stones of nephrolithiasis, and due to the increased production of uric acid, gout can occur in later life. Now, what are the diagnoses? How can we diagnose Lesch-Nyhan syndrome? As I've already said, uric acid production കൂടുതലായിരിക്കും. So serum uric acid will be increased. So that can be used as a diagnostic test. Then, not only in serum, due to the increased production of uric acid, it will be excreted in urine. So uric acid in urine also increases. So serum uric acid increase ആവും, urine uric acid also will increase. Now, ultrasound scanning ഉപയോഗിച്ച് നമുക്ക് കിഡ്നി സ്റ്റോൺസ് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഡയഗ്നോസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. സോ അൾട്രാസൗണ്ട് സ്കാനിങ് ക്യാൻ ബി യൂസ്ഡ് ഫോർ നെഫ്രോലിഥിയാസിസ് ഓർ കിഡ്നി സ്റ്റോൺ ഡയഗ്നോസിസ്. Then the main thing, the enzyme deficient is HGPRTase. So absence of HGPRTase enzyme can also be a diagnostic test. Another one is molecular gene testing. അതായത് HGPRT ജീൻ്റെ മ്യൂട്ടേഷൻ കാരണമാകാം ചിലപ്പോൾ ഈ ഡിസീസ് ഉണ്ടാവുക. സോ വി ക്യാൻ ഡു മോളിക്കുലാർ ജീൻ ടെസ്റ്റിംഗ് ഫോർ ഡയഗ്നോസ് ഇറ്റ്. സോ ദ മേജർ diagnostic test that we can do is serum uric acid in urine, then ultrasound scanning for diagnosing kidney stones or nephrolithiasis, then absence of HGPRTase enzyme, and molecular gene testing. The main treatment is allopurinol, which inhibit xanthin oxidase. Xanthin oxidase xanthin uric acid ആക്കണ അത് inhibit ചെയ്യും. So one of the early treatment that we can give is treatment by allopurinol. So this is about Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. So for summing up, what we can say is it is connected with the salvage pathway of purine metabolism. The enzyme deficient is HGPR. ഒന്നും ഓർത്തില്ലെങ്കിലും enzyme deficient ഏതാന്ന് ഓർക്കുക, which is HGPRTase. HGPRTase എന്താ ചെയ്യുക? It converts guanosine and PRPP to guanosine monophosphate, hypoxanthine plus PRPP to inosine monophosphate. ഈ രണ്ട് റിയാക്ഷനാണ് HGPRTase കാറ്റലൈസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ ഇൻ Lesch-Nyhan syndrome GMP IMP ലെവൽ കുറയും, PRPP ലെവൽ കൂടും, guanine hypoxanthine ലെവൽ കൂടും. These will be metabolized to uric acid. So uric acid production കൂടും. These are the main characteristics. It is also an X-linked disorder. Pinna clinical features, there will be self-mutilation, there will be mental retardation, there will be kidney stones due to the increased production of uric acid, there will be gout occurring in later life. Major diagnostic test will be serum uric acid in urine, ultrasound scanning, absence of HGPRTase enzyme, and molecular gene testing. And the major treatment is by allopurinol. Hope Lesch-Nyhan syndrome is clear to you. Thank you.